He is always there, quietly hanging in the night sky, peaceful, silent, painfully familiar and yet unfathomably alien. The moon, Earth's eternal companion. And beside Itit's daylight twin and counterweight the Sunday, a colossal burning god ruling over light, warmth, and life. Two opposites bound together so closely that they seem part of a single design. The moon and the sun, like shadow and light, like a door and its key. But what if this design isn't just a metaphor? What if everything we see above us was made deliberately? Let's start with geometry. The sun is about 400 times larger than the moon, but it is also 400 times farther away from Earth. This perfect ratio creates an almost mystical illusion. We see these two celestial bodies as the same size in the sky. Because of this, we witness solar eclipses, the precise moments when the moon perfectly covers the sun, leaving only a glowing crown. This is a unique coincidence that exists nowhere else in our solar system. Imagine millions of cosmic bodies, orbits, speeds, distances, and only here, only now, on Earth, an observer sees two utterly different objects appearing exactly the same. Is that just a coincidence? The moon has a diameter of about 3,470 kilometers, the sun over 1.4 million. It's like comparing a soccer ball to a skyscraper. Yet their perfect performance in the sky forces us to wonder, who set the stage? Some astronomers call this a cosmic serendipity, a lucky coincidence. Others more cautiously refer to it as anomalous harmony. But what if we are not looking at harmony, but at the trace of intelligence? Of course, science offers explanations. The most accepted theory about the moon's formation is the giant impact hypothesis. Around 4.5 billion years ago, Earth collided with a Mars-sized body called Theia. Debris ejected into space later formed the moon, but there are many blanks in this story. For example, why is the moon's chemical composition nearly identical to Earth's? Why are oxygen isotope ratios in Moon and Earth rocks virtually the same? How could such a large satellite with a nearly circular orbit form this way? The moon is too large to be a satellite of a planet like Earth. It makes up about 1/4 of Earth's size, a massive proportion. There's no comparable example in the solar system. This isn't a moon. It's almost a small planet acting as Earth's stabilizer. And it seems that only thanks to the moon, life on Earth became possible. Without it, Earth's axis would wobble chaotically, changing the climate so radically that no stable biosphere could survive. Without it, the oceans would be restless, tides unpatterned, and temperatures could shift catastrophically. The moon is like a giant gyroscope keeping our world in balance. It is also a mirror of time. Our ancestors counted months by its phases. Its light-guided travelers and hunters, its cycles formed the basis of calendars. In many cultures, the moon held divine status. The Sumerians worshipped the god Nana, the Egyptians honored Thoth, the Greeks Artemis, and Hindu Chandra. It was a bearer of knowledge, a symbol of mystery and transformation. And then there's something even stranger. The moon has synchronous rotation. It always shows the same face to Earth. We only ever see one side. The far side, turned away toward the stars, remained unknown to humanity for millennia. This is again explained by gravitational interaction. But what if it's meant to face us that way? Scientists working with seismometers left on the moon during the Apollo missions discovered another anomaly. When the moon was struck, for instance, by a deliberately crashed module, it rang like a bell, like a hollow metal object. It vibrated for up to an hour. This is not typical of solid celestial bodies. Some proposed, perhaps the moon is hollow inside. It sounds absurd. But it was recorded. And if not hollow, how can we explain such resonant properties? The idea of the moon being artificial has surfaced more than once. In 1970, Soviet scientists Mikhail Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov proposed a hypothesis that the moon is not a natural object, but a giant spacecraft or structure built by an alien civilization and placed in Earth's orbit for observation or control. Their arguments were simple. Too many coincidences, too strange an orbit, too old rocks, too perfect geometry. Conspiracy theorists have gone further, claiming the moon is a beacon, transmitting signals or influencing human consciousness. Others believe it is an archive, a place where information about humanity is stored. Some say it enables observation of us from afar. Sounds crazy? Perhaps. But as Arthur C. Clarke said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Let's return to the sun. It is the source of everything. Its energy is life. It is so vast it could contain over 1 million Earths. But even it doesn't create optical marvels like an eclipse. And it is precisely during those moments when the moon eclipses the sun that humanity begins to see the unseen. Coronal ejections, atmospheric structures, strange waves that flare around it. As if the moon is a key that briefly lifts the veil, allowing us to glimpse what is usually hidden. And then again, the question arises, are we witnessing just physics, or the trace of someone's will? The moon and the sun, darkness and light, cold and heat, silence and voice, a perfect pair orbiting our planet, setting the rhythm for all life. Two celestial bodies aligned so precisely that every centimeter of their orbit seems intentional. Perhaps they're not just lights in the sky. Perhaps they are a message, a program, a code. And we are part of an experiment. Or perhaps the watchers are long gone, and the moon and Sunday continue their cycles, leaving us only hints. Fire by day, a mirror by night. And a question. The moon, our closest cosmic neighbor, the constant satellite of Earth, has always inspired awe and countless questions. Particularly mysterious is its synchronous orbit, which causes us to always see only one side of the moon, while the other, so-called dark or far side, remains hidden from our view. This phenomenon, which seems natural and obvious, actually conceals many mysteries and spawns numerous scientific and mystical theories. What exactly is synchronous orbit? How did it form? And why aren't all the answers to these questions clear? And why did the dark side of the moon remain inaccessible and so enigmatic for so long? A synchronous orbit is a unique state in which the period of a satellite's rotation around its axis equals the period of its orbit around the planet. For the moon, this means it rotates around the Earth in such a way that the same side of the satellite is always facing us. This phenomenon is the result of tidal locking, a gravitational influence of the Earth that gradually slowed the moon's rotation until they synchronized. Thus, the moon seems frozen in one pose relative to Earth. This is a unique case in the solar system, as not all planetary satellites have such stable synchronization. The formation of such an orbit took hundreds of millions of years. At first, the moon rotated much faster and showed Earth different parts of its surface. But tidal forces created by the interaction of gravitational fields caused large tidal bulges, which in turn slowed the satellite's rotation until it settled into a stable regime. Today, the moon rotates with a period of about 27.3 days, which coincides with its orbital period around Earth. The very fact of the existence of this synchronous orbit raises many questions. Why the moon, among all the satellites of planets in the solar system, has exactly this orbit, and how does it affect us? It is known that this unique interaction makes the moon extremely important for stabilizing Earth's rotation. Its gravitational influence helps maintain the tilt of Earth's axis at approximately 23.5 degrees, which corresponds to climate stability and seasonal changes. Without such balance, our planet could experience chaotic shifts in its tilt, making life far less predictable and possibly impossible in its current form. Now, about the dark side of the moon. This term, although widely used in popular culture, is somewhat misleading. In reality, no part of the moon is permanently dark. The dark side is the far side, which faces away from Earth, and it receives as much sunlight as the near side, just at different times. This hidden side of the satellite remained a mystery for a long time, as it could not be observed with Earth-based telescopes. Only in 1959 did the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 take the first photographs of the far side, revealing a completely different, unfamiliar world. There, the dark lava plains characteristic of the near side were almost absent. Instead, the surface was covered with numerous craters, rougher and more uneven. This geological difference raises even more questions. Why such asymmetry? Why is the near side rich in vast lava plains, while the far side is not? One theory suggests that Earth's gravitational influence affected the Moon's geological development, preserving internal heat and volcanic activity on the near side longer than on the far side. The absence of such influence on the far side led to faster cooling and a large number of impact craters. But it's not only geology that fuels the mysteries. Scientists studying magnetic fields and seismic data have discovered anomalies difficult to explain with conventional scientific models. For example, in the South Pole, Aitken Basin on the far side, there are massive magnetic anomalies that may indicate metallic inclusions or remnants of huge impact objects. Seismic studies conducted during the Apollo missions showed that the Moon can ring or resonate after impacts, which led to speculation about possible hollowness inside. This sounds absurd, but it was recorded. If not hollow, how else can such resonant properties be explained? These unusual properties fuel theories about the artificial origin of the Moon or even hidden bases of extraterrestrial civilizations on it. While such hypotheses lack scientific confirmation, they continue to inspire imagination and prompt new investigations. One obstacle in studying the dark side is the impossibility of direct radio communication with Earth. Since the Moon always faces Earth with one side, the far side has no direct line of sight to terrestrial antennas. Therefore, missions that aim to work there require relay satellites or orbital stations, complicating research efforts significantly. Despite this, recent years have seen important breakthroughs. The Chinese Chang'e 4 mission became the first in history to make a soft landing on the Moon's far side, providing unique data on soil structure, radiation levels, and microclimate. This success opened new horizons for studying our satellite and preparing potential colonies. Besides purely scientific aspects, the dark side of the Moon has long lived in the myths and legends of many peoples. For many cultures, it symbolized the unknown, the hidden, the mysterious. It was believed that spirits, gods, or other supernatural forces resided there, watching humanity from the shadows. The Moon, as a symbol of the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, always inspired feelings of respect and fear. Modern research and discoveries on the far side only emphasize that the Moon is not just a passive object in space, but a complex system that affects our life far more than we usually think. Its gravity stabilizes Earth's climate, its phases influence biological rhythms, and its synchronous orbit creates a unique astronomical phenomenon found nowhere else in the solar system. Overall, the dark side of the Moon remains a fascinating frontier, part scientific puzzle, part source of wonder, a celestial body that quietly guards its secrets, inviting us to explore further. Mysterious anomalies on the Moon represent one of the most enigmatic subjects in modern space exploration and astronomy. Since the first lunar missions, scientists and researchers have noted that the Moon is not merely a lifeless ball covered in craters. On the contrary, it has turned out to be full of surprises, mysteries, and anomalies that challenge many established ideas about the Moon's origin and nature. With the advent of modern robotic missions such as NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, and the Chinese Chang'e spacecraft series, the study of the Moon's far side has gained new momentum. It is precisely on this relatively unexplored side of the satellite that a number of unusual phenomena have been discovered. Phenomena that cannot be explained by ordinary geological processes. One of the most striking anomalies are unusual magnetic fields localized in certain regions. Unlike Earth, the Moon lacks a global magnetic field that would protect its surface. However, some areas exhibit local magnetic anomalies much stronger than what would be expected from ordinary rocks and minerals alone. This calls into question the idea that the moon's magnetism is purely a natural result of ancient volcanic activity or meteorite impacts. On the contrary, such strong magnetic zones might indicate the presence of metallic inclusions or even remnants of technological objects left there long ago. Even more mysterious are regions with elevated radiation levels. Normally, the moon's surface is subjected to intense solar and cosmic radiation due to its lack of atmosphere and magnetosphere that could deflect harmful particles. However, certain zones have radiation levels that significantly differ from neighboring areas. Why? Scientists offer no definitive answer. One hypothesis suggests these areas could contain special materials capable of either accumulating or reflecting radiation in unusual ways. Another category of anomalies consists of unusual structures that, in orbital images, resemble traces of large objects or even architectural constructions. Some of these shapes are so precise and geometrically well-defined that they provoke astonishment and suspicion. Some researchers even suggest that these might be remnants of alien bases or technological devices built thousands or perhaps millions of years ago. These ideas, of course, have sparked waves of criticism from mainstream science. Classical astronomy and geology maintain that all these phenomena have natural explanations, albeit complex ones. For instance, some of the anomalous formations could be the result of unique erosion processes, meteorite impacts, or even volcanic activity that occurred in the moon's past. However, there are those who insist the moon is not merely a natural celestial body. They propose hypotheses of artificial origin or of its use by advanced ancient civilizations as some kind of station or observation post. This idea is not new and has even been dubbed the hollow moon hypothesis. According to this, the moon may have been artificially created or modified, and its unusual properties are traces of technological processes science has yet to explain. The hollow moon hypothesis emerged after Apollo missions recorded that the moon rings when struck. It vibrates and resonates like a bell. This is atypical behavior for a solid rocky body. How to explain such resonant properties? Could this be evidence of hollowness or a large internal cavity? Furthermore, there are theories about remnants of alien bases on the moon. Evidence in the form of photos and videos showing anomalous objects fuels speculation about the presence of extraterrestrial technologies or structures. Some even believe that a secret observation station monitoring Earth was placed on the moon. These hypotheses are often accompanied by numerous conspiracy theories and speculations that governments are hiding the true information about the moon and its secrets from humanity. Although official science remains skeptical about these ideas, public interest in the topic persists. Today, modern missions continue exploring the moon, especially its far side. With every new discovery, we receive more data about its structure, composition, and properties, gradually helping to unravel its mysteries and anomalies. Yet, simultaneously, more questions arise as every new anomaly becomes a source of new hypotheses and speculation. Perhaps this is the true nature of the moon, an eternal mystery waiting for us to become wise enough to solve it. After all, not everything can be explained by ordinary physics and geology. Sometimes the real answers lie within the unknown, the moon's dark side. The dark side of the moon is not just a scientific object for study, but also a profound symbol in the cultures, myths, and religions of many peoples around the world. Since ancient times, this hidden side of Earth's satellite, unseen by human eyes, has been perceived as something mysterious, enigmatic, and even mystical. It became the source of numerous legends, symbols, and beliefs that shaped the collective understanding of the world and the unknown. For many ancient civilizations, the moon was more than just a celestial body shining in the night sky. It acted as a mediator between worlds, between the earthly and the celestial, between the living and the dead, between light and darkness. The cyclical phases of the moon reflected the constant movement of time, change, and transformation that influenced all life on Earth. And it was precisely the dark side, the one never visible from our planet, that was associated with what is hidden, incomprehensible, and even forbidden. In many cultures, myth spoke of the dark side of the moon as a gateway to other worlds. It was a world of spirits, ancestors, or gods, which could not be touched or glimpsed without special rituals or divine blessing. For example, in some shamanistic traditions, moonlight was considered a guide between the worlds of the living and the dead, while the dark side was a portal opened only during special astral journeys or dreams. The dark side of the moon was often linked to hidden knowledge. In secret societies, alchemists, and esoteric traditions, this image became a symbol of deep wisdom, inaccessible to ordinary people. Hidden truths, veiled by the night shroud, were like a challenge for those who sought to understand the world on a deeper level. Lunar darkness thus became a symbol of the inner journey, the search for oneself and the world, and the realization of one's place in the vast cosmos. In some myths, the dark side of the moon was identified with gods or spirits of the night. For instance, in ancient Greek mythology, the goddess Selene, who personified the moon, had a complex image combining light and shadow, clarity and mystery. Sometimes her dark side was considered a separate entity, a goddess or spirit governing nocturnal processes, natural changes, and soul transformations. In Asian cultures, particularly in Chinese and Japanese mythologies, the far side of the moon was associated with the afterlife and the dwelling place of immortals or deities. Legends about the Yellow Empress living in a cave on the dark side of the moon, or about the rabbit pounding the elixir of immortality, show how deeply these ideas penetrated the consciousness of these peoples. Moreover, in many cultures, the moon became a symbol of the cyclical nature of life and death. The phases of the moon corresponded to birth, growth, fading, and rebirth. The dark side symbolized the end of a cycle, the dark night before the light of a new day. It was a reminder that every ending contains a new beginning and that everything in the universe obeys eternal laws of change. In religious texts and mystical treatises, the dark side of the moon is often regarded as a symbol of the unknown God or cosmic force hidden from human understanding. Its invisibility and absence from direct human observation remind us of the limits of our knowledge and, at the same time, the need to seek answers within the depths of our own soul and the universe. In literature and modern culture, the dark side of the moon has become a symbol of psychological and emotional aspects of the human being. It is the shadow hidden fears, memories, desires, and aspirations that are not always conscious but shape our personality. There is a whole range of works where the dark side of the moon is a metaphor for self-discovery, confrontation with inner demons, and the unveiling of new facets of existence. Thus, the dark side of the moon is not merely a physical part of the satellite unseen from Earth. It is a complex, multi-layered symbol reflecting humanity's quest for knowledge, fear of the unknown, dreams of other worlds, and desire to uncover hidden truth. It has absorbed many cultural, mythological, and spiritual meanings, becoming one of the greatest mysteries and inspirations in human history. Imagine a celestial show that happens every day, but only occasionally becomes a true wonder, a solar eclipse. However, the most mysterious part of this miracle is not just its beauty, but the very basis of the phenomenon, the perfect coincidence of the sizes and distances of the sun and the moon. The sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but at the same time 400 times farther from the Earth. This unique astronomical coincidence creates the illusion that two completely different objects in scale appear the same size in the sky. This allows the moon to perfectly cover the sun during eclipses, creating the perfect coronal effect. If we look at other planets in the solar system, such precise coincidences do not exist anywhere else. No other moon matches its sun in size and distance so exactly as to create such striking eclipses. Why? Astronomers explain this as an exceptional but random combination. But randomness is not always an explanation, especially when it comes to such perfect harmonies. For many researchers, this remains a mystery. Of course, many coincidences occur in nature, but such precise ideal ratios like the 400 times between the sun and moon cannot simply be a matter of chance. The question arises, could this be a manifestation of some cosmic design, a hidden plan that set this coincidence for a certain purpose? If this is not a coincidence, then what lies behind it? Could nature, or perhaps a higher power, or even an intelligence have given us this gift? After all, it is precisely thanks to this coincidence that we can observe solar eclipses phenomena that reveal to us a hidden world of the sun. During total eclipses, the bright disk of the sun disappears, and we see its corona, the hot, glowing atmosphere that is invisible under normal conditions. We can observe amazing structures, strange waves, and flares that unveil many mysteries of solar physics. The mystery lies in the fact that without this unique factor of 400, we would never have the chance to witness such a marvelous play of light and shadow. The moon acts as a key that briefly lifts the veil of the sun. It is as if someone created this perfect system so that we could see something more than just a star. To deepen our understanding of this phenomenon, let us turn to myths and legends of different cultures, which for centuries have observed the sky and sought deep meaning in these events. The sun and the moon often appear as two halves of one whole, as twin brothers guiding humanity through time. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the sun is the god Ra, who travels across the sky daily on his boat, while the moon is the god Khonsu, who guards the night. They complement each other, day and night, light and shadow, life and death. In Greco-Roman legends, these are Apollo and Artemis, brother and sister ruling day and night. Similarly, in many cultures, the sun and moon symbolize the duality of existence, masculine and feminine, active and passive, hot and cold. Perhaps this ancient symbolism points to something deeper, that their celestial coincidence is not accidental, but deliberately woven into the very fabric of the universe, something conceived from the very beginning. Modern science does not deny the immense significance of this harmony. After all, if the moon were a little smaller or a bit farther away, solar eclipses would be partial or impossible altogether. This would change the way humanity perceives the universe and perhaps even its cultural development. We now know that this exact 400 times ratio will not last forever. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth by several centimeters each year. In millions of years, this unique coincidence will vanish. But while it exists, we can consider it one of nature's greatest wonders, or perhaps a part of some cosmic plan. So, what is it? Coincidence, a miracle of nature, or a message from distant space? The answer remains a mystery for each to solve in their own way. And while this secret lives in our sky, the sun and moon continue their dance, two perfect circles that occasionally meet in the sky, giving us light, shadow, and unfathomable magic. The sun and the moon are the two main luminous pillars of our world, two grand forces that influence not only the physical state of the Earth, but also our perceptions of the universe. They are like two poles of cosmic balance, eternally interconnected and harmonious, yet at the same time concealing countless mysteries that remain beyond our understanding. From the perspective of modern science, the sun is a giant thermonuclear furnace, a main sequence star emitting the energy necessary to sustain life on Earth. The moon is its natural satellite, reflecting sunlight and regulating nature's cycles. But behind this simple picture lie far more complex phenomena that continue to deepen the circle of mysteries every year. One of the greatest scientific marvels is the perfect geometric ratio of the sizes and distances of the sun and moon from Earth. This coincidence is so unique that it is difficult to explain by chance. The sun is approximately 400 times larger than the moon, but simultaneously 400 times farther from the Earth, making their apparent sizes in the sky almost identical. This allows us to observe the phenomenal total solar eclipse events that do not occur on any other planet in the solar system. Is this really just coincidence? Or is it an indication that our planet and its satellite were created according to a certain plan? Some scientists propose the idea of cosmic design, the theory that the parameters of the Earth, Moon, and Sunday are the result not of random processes, but of some architectural intent. This hypothesis is based on observations that without the stabilizing effect of the moon, the Earth's rotational axis would be unstable, causing chaotic climate changes that would make stable life impossible. Thus, the moon is not just a satellite, but a vital component of Earth's ecosystem. This makes us ponder, if the moon really plays such an important role, why does its origin remain a mystery? The giant impact theory, where a Mars-sized body called Theia collided with Earth, ejecting debris that later formed the moon, explains much, but not everything. The chemical similarity of the moon's surface to Earth's identical isotopic compositions and the unusually large mass of the satellite distinguish it from all other natural satellites in the solar system. The so-called dark side of the moon side hidden from Earth remained unseen by humanity until the 20th century thanks to space missions. There, unusual geological structures, areas with abnormal magnetic fields, and elevated radiation levels were discovered, phenomena that do not fit conventional models of natural processes. This has spawned numerous hypotheses, from theories about remnants of ancient alien bases to speculations that the moon might be a hollow structurea, giant cosmic artifact. Further scientific expeditions uncovered the astonishing moonquakes phenomena, where the moon, like a metal bell, resonates after seismic impacts, contradicting the idea of it being purely a rocky body. These anomalies cast doubt on traditional models of satellite formation and open the door to speculations about the possible artificial origin of the moon. The sun is not without mysteries either. Its atmosphere, photosphere, and corona emit light and energy that sustain our planet. Yet during total solar eclipses, when the moon blocks the bright light of the sun, humanity glimpses a marvelous world of coronal ejections, plasma waves, and other phenomena usually hidden from our eyes. These events make us wonder, perhaps eclipses are not just physical phenomena, but a kind of cosmic code that allows a glimpse into the inner workings of the sun. Legends and myths from many cultures, from Sumerian to Native American, describe the sun and moon as twin brothers or two sides of the same coin. They are not just astronomical bodies, but symbols of light and shadow, life and death, constant change and cyclicality. These stories might be echoes of forgotten knowledge about the true nature of our celestial bodies, which still remain a mystery to modern science. Will we ever reach the truth? Will the sun and moon forever remain shrouded in mystery that fuels our imagination? One thing is clear: they are not merely sources of light and heat. They are pieces of a vast cosmic puzzle in which we are but small players, yet with the potential to uncover secrets that will change our worldview. Fire and shadow, light and darkness, sun and moon, they are not just heavenly bodies. They are a code waiting to be deciphered, a message that could open doors to a new level of understanding the universe and our place within it. And as we gaze into the sky, searching for answers, the very nature of these two lights compels us not to stop, to explore deeper, dream bigger, and believe that the truth might be closer than we think. Are you ready to walk this path? Can we unveil the truth about the sun and the moon, fire and shadow that lead us through the infinity of space? The light exists, the shadow exists, and between them lies the most important question facing humanity.